Hi guys, it's France. Welcome back again for week 100 of the Journal Monday series. For this very special edition, I decided to only go for products that my heart was screaming for, and the very first layer I'm applying is the Fresco Finish by Paper Artsy. So the base will be quite dark, but that's just the base. Once this is dried, I can apply the crackle glaze, and I'm just doing so using a plastic card, as it's quite a syrupy texture. I'm keeping the layer very thin. I left the crackle glaze to dry completely, and now I can add the final step in this crackle process, which is a second layer of Fresco Finish, and this time I'm applying it using a sponge. Now with this very special 100th edition of the Journal on Monday series comes a special invitation to you on my blog, where I'm inviting you to share your process as well. So check it out, join us, and who knows, you might be in for some very interesting prizes. As you can see while I'm drying it, the crackles already appear, and to accentuate them, I'm going over it with some sanding paper. Now this is brand new sanding paper, so I have to be quite careful not to tear all the paper apart. But I really like how it's turning out. And on this side you can see that the paper is showing because of the sanding paper being too rough for this process. Adding some stamping using my French journal page by Stamp Boutique, and I'm simply stamping it with archival ink. I need an ink that will stay in place, considering the next layer that I will put on, which is decoupage glue, to glue down this rusted paper. If you would like to know how I rusted this paper, you can check it out on my blog also. I'll put the link to the direct page in the description of this video. For all the other products, you can find them on my blog as well, with the complete description of the brand and the color that I used. Now, as I was in the middle of two different signatures, I couldn't keep my paper as one. This is a Coptic binded art journal, which will lay flat, but it means that the signatures have a bit of space in between. So I needed to separate the two halves of this piece of rusted paper. And while doing so, being careful not to cut the thread that was keeping my journal together. As I said in the beginning of this video, I only went for products that I really felt like using today, not caring if this is a color combo that I've already done like 100 times or a technique that I've already done 5 times before. I just did what I felt like doing, and it was great fun, because I had so many ideas for this Journal on Monday 100 that I really didn't know where to look anymore. And doing just this felt great, really, really great. And now that my paper is staying in place, I can take the excess paper away. I'm keeping all these little scraps because those will make very fun accents for other journal pages. Though you cannot see what it is I'm doing here, except for my paintbrush, I'm actually applying crackle paint, and this is the Rock Candy crackle paint, so that I can add some more little details on top of the rusted paper. It's a quite thin layer that I'm applying. I don't want any big blobs or big crackles. I want something that's very thin and very refined. And now that it's dry, again, I can accentuate those cracks. I'm going in with pen pastel, and the first color I'm using is a blue. It's a turquoise, just to have a contrast with all the brown and the dark colors that I already have underneath. But I don't want to keep it that way. I do want to have that metallic feel to the spread. So I'm going back in with metallic pen pastel, and I think it's the red gold that I'm using here, and I'm only using it on top of the darker shades in the rusted paper, so that the blue stays visible, but that I also have that rich metallic color popping up. And then also using a dark pen pastel, I'm adding a shading all around the spread, just following the edges. As I'm not using any fixative again, I'm using a dry cloth to take all the excess pen pastel away, so that I only have pastel in the cracks. These are grunge board digits, and I'm just painting them using a fluid acrylic paint, taking care of also doing the sides of the digits. It dries pretty quickly, and then to add some more accents to that same blue, I'm going in with a different kind of turquoise, and this time it's a flat shot by Lindy Stamp Gang. Now I want to add some shadings and lightnings to these digits. So I'm using darker pen pastel on one side and lighter pen pastels on the other, but I'm not covering everything up, so the acrylic paint does have its use. And I'm also taking care that I'm not smudging all the colors together. So as you can see, I'm often looking at my fingers to make sure that I don't have that darker Prussian blue all over my fingers, because my digit would end up having that one single color in the end. Now I'm also adding a bit of metallic shade to it so that it works with the background. And I'm just repeating the same process with the 3 digits. Now again, I'm not using any fixative, so I have to make sure that all excess pastel is taken away. And this time I'm using a brayer on top of a dry cloth to pick up the excess oil pastel. To shape my metallic thread, I'm using a jar of gesso, so that I have a neat circle to work with. And then just tying the ends around my circle to keep it together. I want to make sure that I won't hurt myself while flipping through my journal, so I'm using my flat nose pliers to really bend that last end of the metallic thread around. To add some more details to my digits, I'm going back in with some rub-ons. These Bo Bunny embellishments have been laying around forever, and I'm doing something that I think I've never done this before on an art journaling spread. I'm adding some bling. If this isn't going special for the 100th episode, I don't know what it is. I'm not much of a bling girl, so this is quite exceptional. And as long as I have my rub-ons, I can add a little butterfly on the other side. In case you didn't know, papillon, which is my name, means butterfly. At this point, I decided it was time to add some sewing, and I've done something that I've never done before. I've sewed on this spread on both sides of the page, which means that I've also been sewing through a page that I've already done before. And now that I've done that, I know that though it's pretty scary, it's okay to do so. So I'll be doing this more often. I'm getting ready to attach my circle, my metallic circle, and after quite some searching, I'm doing so using a brad that I'm opening over my metallic circle and then closing again behind it. Well, closing it by spreading the two legs of the brad. But at this point, I decided there weren't enough of my favorite elements on my spread. There is no plaster, there is no cambric, so time to do something about it. So I'm first adding a piece of plaster, which I had already prepared. I'm just adding some color by spraying some Colorex over it. Well, not some, a lot of Colorex over it. And then again, using my flat nose pliers, I'm ripping the edges apart. And now I can add a piece of cambric as well. So again, tearing the edges apart. And I want to fold it in half and stitch it to the piece of plaster. So I'm using the same colors in Colorex. And then I'm bringing everything together on a piece of cardboard, just gluing it, leaving it to dry, and then going in with my sewing machine. This piece of chipboard is quite thick, and though I like it, I want it to be thinner, so I'm taking a couple of layers away before gluing it down. Adding some wording, and I'm going for 100 reasons to smile. These Journal on Mondays have given me a lot of reasons to smile. I can only say once more that I really hope you will join us in the celebration of this 100 Journal on Monday series. Adding some more metallic oil pastel to make everything work together, though there's a lot of contrast between the background and the 100. It's really popping off the page. Adding some splatters with acrylic paint, first with the white, then with the black. Well, it's not really a black, it's a very dark shade of gray. And I decided my background needed some more blue because of the contrast between that brown background and the blue 100. So I'm very lightly, I'm using my plastic card to draw very light lines on the spread. Another one of my favorite elements is, of course, a little red heart, so I added that as well. First I'm stamping using Stampatique stamp, and then I'm colorizing it using Copic markers. Again, all the numbers of the colors that I've used are listed on my blog. I added some black around the heart to make it pop a bit more, and also some glimmer glaze once it was glued down to give it some more dimension. That's it for today. If you liked today's video, don't forget to hit the like button, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, don't forget to check out my blog, and there's a huge giveaway for this 100 Journal on Monday series. 100 times thank you. See you back next time. Bye bye.